Hi everybody, David Lockwood here for the third video of my series, I Have Fifth Dimension Telepathy. We left off at the introduction through a spiritual group of my guides. They had spoken to me and I thought it was somebody that was standing on the stairs and wanting me to go upstairs while I was doing a spiritual meditative session with all the other men. And but it wasn't that. It was my guides introducing themselves to me. So this carries on from there, and I had a lot of sessions by myself. I would just go to a room and be quiet and meditate. Then I would start talking to my guides. I say, "Hello, guides," and they say, "Hi, David." And I would ask them questions, or they would say, "We want to talk to you about this or that." And I was really developing a nice rapport with the guides. And I said, "How many guides do I have?" And they say, "You have as many as those who want to learn and align themselves with you so they can learn also." So I guess depending upon what we were discussing, what was I doing in life, I would be have a number of my guides aligned, where they said sometimes it could number in the thousands. So there's a different level of what they call your guides, and I'll also share with you coming up pretty soon was a group called the Spirit Friends, and the Spirit Friends could sometimes I'd have 50,000 aligned, watching and listening to what I was saying or doing, because they learn also. That's the way that they learn where they are. So I had been having a lot of conversations with them, and I ended up the lady friend and I had we had developed a relationship, and I was living with her at that time. Her daughter also lived with us. So it was in downtown Toronto, and we had a house, and our mortgage on the house was somewhere around the tune of $1,250. Mortgage rates were high at that time, and so it was about $1,250. We did not have $1,250, and we were trying to figure out where are we going to get $1,250. So I said, "I'll tell you what, let me go upstairs," and I said, "Let me go upstairs, and I'm going to ask the guides if they have any suggestion for us." So I went upstairs and I went in a room and started a meditation, and then when I was ready, and always ask for protection and be surrounded with light, which I did, and that. And I explained to the guides, I said, we're kind of short on our mortgage payment, and it's due today or the next day. And do you have any suggestion? They says, "David, you're going to the racetrack today." I went, "What?" Well, I have a history that I was involved with racehorses, owned some, helped other trainers, and I've done everything from shovel the you-know-what to doing hay and brushing horses and all the rest. So so I ended up went downstairs and I said, "Hey, guess what? We're going to the track." Well, the look on their faces was really too much. They weren't too pleased that we were going to use the $280 that we had to go and bet on some horses. So while I was upstairs talking with the guides, they say, "Okay, David, this is what's going to happen. You're going to go to Woodbine," and Woodbine's one of the biggest tracks in Canada. And in the first race, you're going to bet the number 7 horse. You'll bet 20 win. In the second race, you're going to bet 20 win on the 5 horse, and you're going to take a $10 double, and that would be on the 7-5. So that was $50. So that's what I told them, and I said that's what they wanted us to do. My guides wanted us to do. So they weren't too happy about going, but they said, okay, we believe. Let's get motor in because we've got to get there before the first race. So we were about 40 minutes from the racetrack, north of the racetrack. And as we headed to the track, the sky started getting really, really dark. And so by the time we got down there, we knew there was a summer storm. This was in July, I think. And a summer storm, like a July. It wasn't like last July or something. This was a while back, like a long time ago. And so they had what they call the Woodbine Center, which is like a shopping mall or plaza. And the lady said that I don't feel like going over to the track, so I'm going to just go into the mall. And her daughter said, I'll come. And I said, okay, that's great. So as we were getting our stuff together, and a few drops of rain started. And I looked in the trunk, and all I had was this little tiny black umbrella. You know, the ones that fold all together and they're no more than a foot long. And I knew that wouldn't do much to keep us dry, but I took it anyway. So we had to cross the street, and then there's a huge parking lot to go through to get to the racetrack. And if you've ever been to major racetracks, you know what I'm saying about the size of the parking lot. So just as we cross the street, doesn't it start to come down like cats and dogs? So ended up, by the time we reached the front door to go into the track, there wasn't a piece of clothing that wasn't drenched. So we had a laugh about that, and we went inside, and I went over and I bought a program. I usually had bought race forms, and if I was going to the track, I would study, and because I'd been around a long time, and I knew the factors that counted, and I knew the trainers and the jockeys and all that. You know, it was a mistake on my part that I was thinking that I had to pick the horses or prove it when I had received it from my guides. And so anyways, I didn't buy a race form. I just bought a program so I would have the right number, and just to make sure that 7 was 7, 5 was 5, and that was it. So we go up to the second floor, and I go outside to the stands, and they had a covering, a huge covering over us. So the seats weren't wet or anything. It wasn't wet right there. But the racetrack was like soup. Like, it was like a lake. And I thought to myself, oh my God. And so anyway, I went right to the window, regardless of that. And I went to a girl, a teller that I knew there. And I said, can I have 20 win on the 7 in the first? A $10 double 7-5 and 20 to win on the 5 horse in the second. She looks at me funny. She says, do you know something? In other words, did you get a tip? And I just kind of pointed up like, yeah, from the heavens. And so anyway, collected my tickets, and away we went outside to wait for the race. So at this time, I have to end this one. And I'm going to get to part 2 of this and continue the story. So make sure you go to the next video.